speed up a little bit because he got a little lazy there. So to continue doing leg yields will defeat the purpose. Now the biggest thing that you have to do to advance from leg yield, here's a simple leg yield. We put too much nose to the right. See how easy he goes to the left? He's not using his back end. He's only using his front end. That's not a leg yield. That's the shoulder going, let's just move the shoulder over because the back end was tracking. I'm going to have to pick up a dressage whip because he's being a little lazy. His hips have to cross over evenly. They have to do just as much as the front end does. If the horse starts laying off the spur too much, I'll just pick up a dressage whip and say, listen, I'm trying to remind you that you need to respect the spur. Because sometimes they'll suck back because of the spur. So I'll use the dressage whip to ask him, at the same time I'm using my spur. So I'm going to ask him the leg yield, but the back end's supposed to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to tap him with that dressage whip and say, you need to get that hip over there. 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 You need there. Actually, I let him do it and put his hip closer to the wall than his shoulders because he wants to blow out his shoulders and not use his hips. So I'm not going to let him do that. I'm saying just put your hip to the left, to the right, and keep your front end straight line. Just keep your hips over there and go straight. If I want the leg yield, now I'm going to add the shoulders to it. So move your hips and move your shoulders. Move your hips, move your shoulders. Not enough energy. He's got to keep energy. When you shut the door on the horse and you put your leg on him, he says, I don't want to keep moving forward. I want to slow down. He's supposed to keep the same forward trot as he moves sideways. When he does that, he's putting his rear end up under him the way he's supposed to do it. So I'm going to maintain a little energy this time. I'm going to switch it up on him. Little leg yield. There he sucks back, so I'm going to drive him forward. I said, why are you going to the wall so fast? There. There. He's supposed to be doing this gradually hitting the wall with not so much bend. Good boy. Make those corners. Leg yield center line. Good boy. Leg yield back. Forward. Can't lose his forward. Send him down, let him relax a little bit. So I want to go back into the free. Remember the rib. He's fading right now. I can feel him fading. I have to press it. Even though I'm doing a rising trot, I have to push that rib back over so he can get his body straight. Now I can create the bend. Got to press that right leg back, that rib back over because he's fading into my right leg the whole time. He's fading into that right leg. And down. 20-meter circle. Right leg touches leg. Now he'll be good on this bend because he's got a natural bend to the right. So this will be his good side on these 20-meter circles. Bend out of him, so right leg says, get that rib back over, change my rising trot, keep the right leg in him to start creating the bend before I get there. Down, 20-meter circle. Now right leg is really important to make sure he keeps the bend around my right leg. I have to use my right hand to assist that. There's a pretty good bend. Can't change his tempo. Good boy. Going to walk. No sudden stops. No sudden stops. Because when he sudden stops, he drops out from under everything. There's a time when you want to sudden stop, but if we're not aware enough about their cheapness when they stop like that, then it really goes against the grain of what we're trying to teach them. He has to, when he stops, he has to use his rear end. When he stops, he wants to stop on his forehand. He just wants to drop his front end to the ground and not use his rear end. So you actually don't do stops. You go into walks. You go to right into a walk, so you keep your leg on him. You release the leg a little bit. He thinks about stopping, and right when he starts to stop, you put your leg on to keep him engaged behind him. Let him float around, think about it a little bit. When you're floating around, you don't, since he has a little tendency to leave his rib to the right, even when I'm floating, I don't want a horse to be, I can still be training when I'm asking the horse just to be relaxed. He needs to stay wrapped around my right leg if I want to bend. He needs to stay bent, even though I'm not doing anything with my hands. When I feel him straighten a little bit, I'll do something with my hands. You can do it. I mean, it can be done one-handed. The idea is to use your foot before you use your hand. But all this I do two-handed. You should be able to do one-handed. There's a little bend, so I'm going to press him with that right leg again. So that moves him over a little bit. When he moved over, he had to put his rib over there to move over. So that gave him my bend. There's nothing wrong with doing, I'm going to let him go down the fence here. He's going to try to change his rib. When he changes his rib, I'm going to do it, there goes the rib. So I'm going to do a little leg yield over there. That created his bend. Now, I don't want to get in the habit that he keeps going. I'm trying to say, keep a right bend around my leg walking down this fence. Don't keep moving. If he changes his face, I'll do a little bit of a leg yield again, but he's staying pretty good around my right leg right now. It's about us. 85% of the time, it's the rider problem, not the horse. Once they start understanding it, then the rider isn't given the correct aids. They're using their own leg, or they're not using their leg first, or their seat first. They're trying to get it through the hand when the rest of the body is wrong. Me looking at his face and seeing his nose to the right like it is right now is not because my right rein pulled his nose to the right. It's because my right leg moved his rib to the left. It has to always come through the seat and leg before you ask for the hand. And we have to be aware from this point, from right here back, the withers back is what my leg and feet have to control. My hands can't do that. But if I control this from here back with my legs, I've got a better chance of having better control of the front end. Because I can move the rib, that puts his face down. Like I say, it didn't take you long to run out of gas. And it may be him, but I just don't think he's got a view. He doesn't act like he's got much energy. And maybe he's been that way some of his baby, but I would feed him up as much as I can and see if I can get him more excited about life. Then, at that point, you could say, how much do I want to beat him up? It's not that he can't learn, but some horses, if you got to beat him up all the time, there's not much fun in it for either the rider or the horse. But believe me, at this point, you have to be really aggressive with him. Because he just says, I really don't care what you're asking. So you've got to get to that point. You decide you need to care. So when we're walking even, so I'm going to quit riding a little once Cindy does it. I'm going to quit walking, quit using my seat, just let him put. The same thing, we're letting him put. Now I'm going to get him time with his feet. And he needs to walk. It's the same thing. We practice everything we do. You need to walk. You need to walk somewhere. Every time I'm trying to ask him to lengthen his stride in the walk. That's the whole point that we're trying to teach horses. It doesn't have to do with cowboy dressage. It has nothing to do with dressage. I'm teaching your horse. I can ask you to give me all you got. You have at all gaits. You can walk slow. You can walk fast. You can walk medium. It all has to do with what my seat bones and my legs right now are assisting my seat bones, because he doesn't care what my seat bones say. He says, I don't know what that means. So I'm teaching him that when my seat bone, when my leg is moving aggressively like this, it makes my seat bone move aggressively through his body. And he's feeling both. I'm trying to say, I should be able to I'm going to lighten my legs and keep doing the seat bone and see if I can't keep that same lengthening. Now I've lightened my leg and he's taking a pretty good tempo. Now I'm going to quit riding a little more. There goes his pokey walk, because I've just quieted my seat bones. There's nothing wrong with a horse pokey walking like that, but if that's all they learn, if that's all they know, then you have to say, wait a minute, there's more to